The leaves are changing, the temperature is dropping, and every game is becoming more and more important as we head into the NSCA Game of the Week. Hi, everybody. I am Steve Bell, joined by Keith Tabatsik, and you look at these two teams really goal scoring. They're opposite ends of the spectrum. Tulsa comes in. They've scored 9 goals in their last 3 games. UConn, on the other hand, only 1 goal.
Yeah, and actually, you expect Tulsa to be scoring goals, but you certainly expect UConn to be. And them in a goal drought right now is really something. And I know it's not anything they're used to. They're not used to being at a losing record any time in the season, certainly not in the midway point. This is a huge game for UConn, actually, to get on track if they're looking at postseason hopes.
A lot of youth coaches talk to their players early on. They say size is not everything. As you're talking about the key players to look for, you picked 2 of the smallest guys on both their teams, both at 5'6", but they're big players.
Well, they are. I thought you were talking about me, Steve, but we'll go to the players, actually. But, yeah, on UConn, you got Adria Basso Marco from Spain. This kid can play. Just watch his left foot, watch his passing abilities. He actually doesn't have an assist on the year, and I think that's one of the issues, too. 2 goals for him, but this guy can really set people up all over the field, take the ball in tight spots, and I love watching this guy play since he's been here for UConn, and one of the best midfielders in the country.
Then you look at the other side, Tulsa, another 5'6" player. Ray Sorry, but he's the leading scorer for their team.
Yeah, Ray Sorry, I tell you what, this guy is powerful, off the dribble, passing, drawing defenders, and taking the shot. This guy can do it all. 4 goals in the last few games. He is hot for a team that's scoring a lot of goals. That could cause a lot of problems for UConn.
A lot of talent on both sides, on both rosters, but those are 2 key players to watch. We caught up with both coaches moments ago and got their thoughts on the game tonight.
Yeah, we got to do a good job defending and keep the ball. Last 4 or 5 games, we've played quite well. We got to continue to build on that on both sides of the ball.
I think they're a team that likes, to possess the ball and get into a rhythm, so we need to stop them from getting into a rhythm. So I think in transition, we're going to have to press quickly. And then we got to eliminate the ball in behind. They got some pace up top, and so I think if we can eliminate the ball in behind, that'll be good. And then in terms of hurting them, I think we need to utilize our width and hurt them out wide and possess the ball for long periods. Both of us want to possess it, and so hopefully tonight it'll be us who's the one who gets the majority of it.
Continental Tire, innovative technology, driving confidence. Find out more at www.continentaltire.com. What an atmosphere here at Joe Moroni Stadium. And they always in the top 3 in terms of attendance, and another great crowd. It's getting a little cool here, lower 50s, upper 40s. But it's getting close to those games that start to matter the most in a big game here in the conference as we look at the starting lineup for the home side for UConn. What do you see here, Keith?
Yeah, UConn in the 3-5-2, and UConn, they're trying to find ways to score goals. The guy who did it all last year, number 10, Kyle Laren up top, he's going to need to get on the end of those balls. That Besso, number 11, can get him. Vanacore Decker, a great player as well. They need to start clicking. It looks like the defense is clicking. A new goalkeeper in there with Scott Levine in the last couple games, 2 shutouts in a row.
And then on the other side, you've got a Tulsa team that comes in 9 goals in their last 3 games. They are scoring a record of 6-4-1.
Yeah, they're hot right now. They play it. It's almost a 5-back system there with 5 backs and a couple guys in front, and then the lone striker up top with Austin Neal, who's got 3 goals, 2 assists on the season. Watch number 25. Sorry, we highlighted him. 4 goals, and he's hot with a hot team.
We are moments away from the NSCA Men's Game of the Week, as Tulsa takes the first half kick. They are going right to left here wearing the royal blue tops. Old gold shorts. And then the blue socks as well, and UConn in there all white.
I tell you, it does look Tulsa a little old school. They're almost like basketball shorts combined with old school jerseys for Tulsa. And you saw that Tony Rocha going up there for the cross, and Rocha's that quote left back, left midfielder. I said they kind of play with they call it a 3-4-2-1, but it's really 5 backs there, and very tough to break down. But somehow they're scoring goals coming out of that too.
Well, UConn on the other side, a very young team. Freshmen, sophomores have combined for 28 of their 37 points on the season.
They're young. They got some good young players there. But there's something not clicking for them. I mean, Steve, it's very seldom. It's never that you're at this stage of the season and UConn's with a losing record. I can't remember that ever being the case. Maybe it might have been Ray Reese's first year, at least in conference in the Big East. They actually started off 0-5 in conference and then went on a run to get into the conference tournament. But this is different, this far into the season, and the goals aren't coming. It looks like they solidified the defense, and it's the same players out there. Haven't made too many changes other than the goalkeeper.
Yeah, you have to go back to 1995 for their last losing season. That was the year they went 7-11. This Connecticut team, you look at the 3-time national champs, and you're used to double-digit wins with them, and there's still time. They're not writing the season off by any stretch, but a big game here tonight for them.
Well, it is a big game because these two sit right next to each other in the American Athletic Conference, and all 8 teams get into the conference tournament. The higher seed hosts in that first round, but the conference championships this year are here at UConn, so they certainly want to be in them and be in that Final Four for the AAC, and automatic bid into the NCAA tournament. Doesn't matter what the rest of your record is if you get that automatic bid.
Kai Doubt with a nice touch there for Tulsa as they swing it to the near side to Tony Rocha. Plays it inside to Ray Sari, key player to watch tonight. 5 goals, 1 assist. He leads the team with 11 points. Get it inside the 18 on an early cross here, and this one will be misplayed in the back line. A little confusion back there, and it looks like it will go out for the first corner of the game as Nerwinski tried to clear that out and just mishit it.
Yeah, he completely mishit that. I mean, he's a predominantly right-footed player, and it's coming in on the inside to his left, but that's not that difficult. And give away the corner kick right from the beginning. And got some big players in there for Tulsa as well as targets. Starker, number 7, Bourgeois, number 22 up there. Austin Neal, the forward, number 8.
Nice low driving, unmarked right in front, and this one does not miss by much. Again, looks like a little confusion there as Doubt had the early look there, came inside and had the one touch on the short corner.
But I'll tell you what, didn't miss by much either. The ball came in, they had all those big players in there, and of course UConn packed in the 18 and the players open out deep. And here's another thing that's a bit unusual with UConn is over the years they're a team that will play the ball out from the back almost all the time. And here they are the first couple times getting it up quickly and trying to play the ball in the air. Of course, then they got to win the second ball. After that, it just doesn't have that feel of a normal UConn team.
Starker plays it all the way back to his keeper, Brandon Hannett, and that's another theme we've got here tonight as Tulsa looks to break. You look at both of these teams, Keith, and they're both really going with the keepers that have not had the majority of minutes thus far in the season as Tulsa is connecting inside the 18 and a hard challenge, play on, says the head official Lou Labadia.
Yeah, Lou Labadia, definitely not a foul there, just a good hard tackle, and that was number 12, Cameron Drackett for Tulsa, trying to get on the end of that ball. But yeah, you're talking about the goalkeepers. There's both Brandon Hannett for Tulsa and Scott Levine for UConn, just playing 2 or 3 games apiece so far, the last ones. But both teams, after making those changes, have kind of turned things around.
Good direct ball up top to Austin Neal, who has a nice touch, and Tulsa with some more room on this near side as Rocha cuts inside and looks for help. Finds it in overlapping D on the near side, and then D switches the point attack again. Good composure now by Tulsa, moving the ball around. Back to Jeffrey D with 1 assist on the season. Finds Rocha. Rocha inside, likes it on his left. Completes the switch as Connecticut is backing in. Good possession now for Tulsa. Patience getting it wide again. Rocha this time with a 1-touch. And Connecticut wins possession.
The one thing you said, though, Steve, is a tremendous patience by Tulsa. They're moving the ball around. And quite honestly, that's what UConn usually does against you.
Laren with a nice touch, takes it down. Going to go 1-on-2, finds a through ball, and Tulsa did well to get back as Laren turned 2 defenders and was off to the races.
Yeah, and Laren is a powerful player. I mean, this guy scored a lot of goals last year, 14 goals, 6 in the nation last year, and he was the AAC Player of the Year, Rookie of the Year, last year.
Ray Sari finding some room inside the middle of the field as well, as Tulsa's definitely had the better opportunities. You look, UConn going direct, that 1-on-3. They're trying to find Laren over the top. The big target, he's 6'2", 190, the sophomore, who leads UConn with 4 goals and 2 assists on the season, but you don't like that matchup every time.
No, you don't. In fact, but if you're going to play that ball over top, you obviously have to overhit it for one. You can't underhit that ball for the defenders to step in, but you also can't hit it down the center of the park there. It's just even if it gets over, you get to brings the goalkeeper into play as well. So Laren's got to do a little more off the ball to get open, and that ball needs to hit some seams.
The Golden Hurricanes storm into Storrs, Connecticut here, riding a 3-game winning streak and a couple big wins. You look at some of the wins they've had this season, Keith, and some ranked opponents that they've been able to match up very well and get some wins. UVA, 1-0 win there. Creighton, a 1-1 tie, and then South Florida, that 4-3 win.
And that 4-3 win was just on Wednesday night, and it was a ton of energy, by the way. And there are a few different players in the starting lineup for Tulsa right now, partly because of the amount of energy they spent Wednesday at South Florida.
Jacob Nerwinski's got some room trying to beat his man, and he will draw the foul. First foul of the game on Tulsa, and will be a nice set-piece opportunity for the Huskies. Look at Bradley Bourgeois. Started every game of his career here for Tulsa.
So if we have a look, we'll see what UConn does here. Certainly a fair bit of space just around the penalty spot there to the near post. Just 3 players up there in the 18 to challenge for that for UConn right now.
Ethan Vanacore Decker over the ball. Puts this one in a dangerous spot, though. Flag is up. Offside call, first of the game, as the ball goes to Brandon Hanna. You talk about that size, too, for UConn. The keeper right there, you're looking at 5'9", 160, the sophomore from Freehold, New Jersey, making only his 4th start of the season. He's just played 270 minutes, but he's got a 3-0 record with 8 saves.
Yeah, and I think a generous 5'9" at that, too. If he's 5'9", I'm 5'9", okay? But yeah, he's just he organizes the team so well, and I think that's one of the things in the change that Tom McIntosh, coach for Tulsa, really likes about him is that he gets the guys in the right place. He's a good shot stopper despite being undersized. He does very well getting the players to do that work for the balls that go in the air.
Whistled for a handball here, I think, before it went out of play. They said that Kyle Laren hit it with the arm. Either way, they're going to take the throw-in, same possession. He says, nope, we're actually going to do it what I said. We're going to go back, and I called the handball. We're going to replay that.
Believe me, let me tell you something. You always do what Lou Labadia says, okay? Lou coached many of my games, okay, and I respect him as a referee, but, boy, you do not win an argument with him, or you never get the last word in.
Stuck to his guns there and called the handball, even though it had possession. Let's see how it works for Tulsa in the 18. The double team. Good, nice turnaround by Austin Neal. Big boy there, but had some nice spin move to get free. And again, the direct ball for UConn looking the other way. Burst of speed from Laren, trying to turn the corner, and he will run out of real estate. Does he win the corner? It's going to be a delayed call, it looks like.
Yeah, it is. I tell you what, I'm not sure about that. He really allowed him to keep going, and he almost turned the corner. But you have to look at this again. Let's see what Lou Labadia did see there. Right now, there's really nothing there, and I don't think that's a foul either, actually.
Yeah, it looked like the ball was just about out of play, and in any event, they're going to go with the free kick. So UConn with a great opportunity here. 10 minutes into the first half. Just outside the 18, and this one left foot and right in the back post there. A nice effort by Hannett. Again, not the tallest player, but read that one well and knocked it out as it went off a UConn player for the goal kick.
Yeah, he actually did well. His timing on that was very good. And again, another thing that Coach McIntosh said about him is that while he is undersized, he does have very good timing and a good leap as well. And followed that ball right in, did what you're supposed to do, kept it going the same direction as you were going with it, and gets it out for a goal kick.
We talked a little bit about Tulsa's goal scoring ability for UConn. It's been a little bit of a role reversal. After allowing 13 goals in their first 7 matches, their defense has come together a little bit better with 2 clean sheets for the first time this season. And now they're trying to find ways to score and put the whole package together. This one Back post, players there for UConn. Brought down. Looked like it could have been a penalty in the area. Play on, no foul. Flag stays down. UConn still with it. A big save by Hannett as UConn continues to plead their case.
Yeah, but that was the right call because actually Besso played that ball. He couldn't get to it already, and anyways, and he had actually played it to who he wanted to. So, there was nothing there. I mean, it was if he had kept on the ball, it probably would have been a foul. But then he did a smart thing, not getting that ball afterwards. He would have been offside. Once again, sorry, good save by Hannett. Sorry, Steve.
Claiming why he was on the ground in the first place, close to a PK that is a hard challenge there, and he said play on. And this one will go out of play. So both sides with what could have been maybe a foul in the area with 2 hard challenges, and both go.
But all even out on that one, and we see the ball. This is right after Besso's down here, and he clearly was not hurt at all. He's looking to see what the referee's doing. And Besso was out of the Valencia Academy in Spain. And you will see that style in his play. I'm not talking about him rolling around after he was down, although you could if you wanted to.
Austin Neal, another good one-touch, perfect switch by Tulsa going the other way on a counter. And this one is saved as they've got 7 in the attack, and this one last touch by Tulsa.
Well, you mentioned all the people they have in the attack. As we said, it's almost a 5-back system defensively, but what we're noticing early on is as they go into the attack, it's almost 5 up top. It just flops because those wide, you call them wide defenders or wide midfielders, are going up and down the entire side on both ends.
You look at the 2 targets in this game as well. I'd say right now Austin Neal's having the better of it with Tulsa holding the ball, connecting with the midfield as Laren's still trying to win possession and get the midfield involved. Here comes Adrian Marco Beso in the area. Long cross backside. Laren is there, and no real harm or danger towards Hannett.
No, and really where the danger would have come is if like Ethan Vanacore Decker, after he had played it wide, had gone into the box, and he could have gone on the end of the layoff by Laren. But Laren heads that ball kind of across the middle, back to the back post. It was hard to tell what he was trying to do. He certainly saw no help there. And he needed somebody right in the middle of the goal, and Vanacore Decker was really the one to do that. And it's funny, Steve, when things are clicking, someone's always there. But right now it's not happening in the attack for UConn.
Starts to be a confidence as well. You look at that game against Cincinnati, a game where they outshot Cincinnati by a number of 17-5, but yet couldn't find that one to get the goal winner.
No, absolutely. Of course, earlier in the year they were losing those games. When they were getting the better of them, they were still losing. So again, with the shutout at least, and could be an important point in conference play as well.
Nowinski with some room forward, cuts it inside. 2 defenders on him. The cutback. Beso Marco on the left. Good driven ball right in front. That one a much more dangerous ball with players in the area. Out for another UConn corner kick.
Yeah, it was an excellent ball by Beso there, and a good defending by Duncan there for Tulsa. And have another look. Beso just peels away, gets the defender to follow his back, and cleared out of there by Quentin Duncan. So we'll call him the right center back for Tulsa in the way they play.
15 minutes in, dangerous corner right in front, and they will whistle a foul on UConn as Brandon Hannett went to the ground.
And look at that size difference there. That's something. And they're obviously going to be, already are, and they're going to be challenging Hannett in the air the entire game. You can see that's part of the strategy. Have another look at this. But you can see Laren going in on top, and the elbow comes down on Laren. And, really in terms of the size, that's where the elbow naturally would be there.
Right, yeah. Keepers are going to win that challenge every time. Good service. Laren posting up in there. Laren with 18 career goals here at UConn. And there's a bad giveaway. As Tulsa started out with some nice crisp passing, moving the ball around, but UConn has responded, and there's the control by Neal. Kwame Awua.
And Awua played, pretty much left back last year, and his first year playing in that defensive center midfield. UConn plays 2 players there, and it's Kwame Awua and Sheikh Stefan Coley that both play there. Both first time for both of them in there. Now, this part into the season, they're building a good partnership there, but it was one of the challenges that Coach Ray Reed had with those 2 there in the beginning of the year, and maybe one of the, adds to one of the reasons they were letting in so many goals. Just kind of new players getting used to where they are in the field.
Rocha, who's been quiet for the last couple minutes, finds possession. And now some room out of the back from Starker. Starker with the direct ball. Flag is down and well read that time by Scott Levine.
Yeah, Scott Levine timed that perfectly because that ball was almost just on. Again, a little bit too much down the center, as we talked about earlier. Those balls that go down the center give the goalkeeper the opportunity to get to it a little bit off post, and then maybe Cameron Drackett would get there. He's 2 goals and 2 assists on the year for the sophomore from Texas for Tulsa.
A lot of Texas players on this Tulsa Golden Hurricane team, as this one is kept in play, and a great touch by UConn coming down into the 18, right across, and again no one there, as a beautiful run by Nerwinski from that right back position, laying it to the backside, and the run was not made.
Yeah, no, it was a great run there, and a good layoff by Besso as well to Nerwinski going forward, and he will do that all day. He loves getting up and down the right side. Played a really good ball across there. Only Laren was close, and closing in on that left side, Tyler Lehman could not get into there in time. He would have had an easy tap in if he could.
And Nerwinski right in front of Ray Reed on the UConn bench, and Reed telling him to take him on. He's got that space and go. Reed in his 18th season, just 3 wins away from 400 wins.
Yeah, that's quite amazing. A combination of his time here at UConn, of course, his tremendous time at Southern Connecticut, where they won just a few national titles there as well, and coming here and doing one in 2000 as well.
Ray Reed ranks 2nd in winning percentage at .762 among active Division I coaches. Not too shabby. On the other side of the field is Tom McIntosh in his 20th season as head coach for the Golden Hurricane. Their only 4th coach in the 34-year history.
And you talk about 2 coaches whose teams consistently are competing at the highest level, competing in the top 20. This is probably the first time you could ever have a game in years between the 2 where neither one of them is in the top 25.
So you talk about these 2 programs, only the 3rd meeting between the 2, as UConn has the series lead with a win and a tie, but Tulsa has never beaten UConn.
Beating UConn at home is hard, although they've lost 2 games at home this year is a rare occasion, but they don't lose at home in October very often. This is when they're really gelling, and I think it's been since 2011 or something like that since they've lost at home.
But scoreless in this one. Beautiful through ball by Laren. Flag is down, the cutback. And again, maybe a little bit more selfish there inside the 18. They're looking for that last pass, and no one is there.
Yeah, you could take him on, but I'll tell you, the problem is the 2 guys that are hanging in the box are simply doing that, hanging.
Yeah.
They need to be making some movement and getting in there, because really that ball was for somebody to get in front of. I think Ethan Vanacore-Decker had the best chance of making a run there.
Trying to thread the needle between 2 defenders. Good idea by Kai Doubt. Sandwiched by the UConn back line. Good play now from both sides. Starker. That's one of the first mistouches Neal has had, checking back to the ball.
Just too casual.
Yeah.
That was like, kick around in the park sort of layoff, and you can't do that. You're playing quite well. Just, keep the focus, because not only was it a casual layoff, that if it did connect, he wasn't looking to get the ball back either. That's perfect time to lay it off and leave your man. Best strikers there are, Steve, are the ones that make themselves more dangerous right after they play it.
Brandon Hannon has a mistouch, thought he could clear it, and open net is missed. Oh, Hannon is breathing a huge sigh of relief as Kwame Awua had a gift, was in all alone, and
boy, does she know it. shirt over his face. He doesn't want to see this replay, I'll tell you that. But
It's the first touch. Yep. First touch, and that's one when you're thinking about the celebration. What are you going to do as you put it in? And he knows that he's got the smile, but Brandon Hannock came out and misplayed it with the head, and all alone, Keith, we talk about being snake bitten, but this UConn team just cannot score goals.
Have another look at this. I mean, it's coming there. It bounces off it. They get some good luck there. And even with the touch not being perfect, I mean, you got to hit that 99 out of 100.
Hard challenge here, and looks like we might have our first yellow card of the game. And we do. As Tulsa is scrambling a little bit, Jeffrey D goes in the books for the yellow card.
So another dangerous area for a free kick for UConn, and we'll see if they follow suit where they've been playing that ball right in on top of the goalkeeper, Brandon Hannock.
Who's probably a little bit rattled now. After the last play, he got back in. You think he just gave up a goal, and here is the opportunity now for UConn. Over the ball, Ethan Vanacore, Decker, 2 in the wall. The right foot puts that in a spot. Again, back post right there. A huge save. I think Hannon is back as he slid across his goal box and knocked that one away.
Yeah, that was a fantastic save, but just as good a restart for UConn as well. Put it in the perfect spot, and look at this ball coming in here. Vanacore Decker puts it in right into that hole there. Just slid across there by number 14, Tyler Lehman, and just again, Laren gets right on it, does the right thing, but what a save.
Hannock's 9th save of his season is a big one as it keeps UConn off the board. Had 2 great opportunities now in the last 2 minutes. This corner high in the air, and the Huskies lose this battle. Kwame Oua. Looks to switch. Yeah, you talk, Keith, about that open net. The first touch was bad, but even with that bad touch, you got any angle. You almost don't even have pressure behind you. He had more time than he thought.
Yeah, he did for sure. I mean, there would have been no need to take another touch, but he actually could have. There certainly was no need for that. I mean, you just put that away. You're right. What is he thinking of celebration beforehand? Maybe, and technique wasn't great, but you got 8 yards there. To put it anywhere in there, no chance for a defender to save that one. But like you said, that could be what we're looking at with the season, and he doesn't want to get frustrated there either, because that was a little frustration foul by Oua, and he gets the yellow card now too.
So second yellow in 2 minutes. Visit the NSCA College Scoreboard at TopDrawerSoccer.com for all your college score needs, along with the most up-to-date scores. Top Drawer Soccer provides box-matched team and player stats, video highlights, and game recaps of all the action around the country. And right now we've got action in the American Conference, but we are scoreless. Good opportunity for UConn to end the scoreless drought. Again, 1 goal in their last 3 games and 2 good looks. Rocha. Good win by Adrian Beso Marco. Quentin Duncan. Back to Rocha. A nice cut back to get around Beso. No foul as they're defending nicely now. Austin Neal, who looked dangerous in the early going.
As Tulsa as a whole was dangerous in the early going. The first half or first quarter of this game, I guess you could say. It was certainly the better for Tulsa, and then UConn just started getting back into it. Had that gift that they missed, but even after that had the better of the play, and we'll see if it flattens out a little bit between the two. But both teams having moments of feeling good about things.
Starker to Bourgeois. His doubt is checking for it. Instead it goes to D. Up top to Sari. Drackett can't connect as UConn wins possession back. Oh, dangerous. Hard challenge at midfield as Sergio Campbell went in, and hard hit on, looked like it was Kai Doubt that went down.
Yeah, Doubt is down. In fact, he's 36 career goals. He's 6th on the all-time list. He jumps to tie with 5 in his next goal. 2 goals, he'll tie for 4 and try to move his way up there. Then he's got a bit of a jump, but took a couple years off on a Mormon mission. I think a couple years, comes back and doesn't lose a beat.
Yeah, you talk about his freshman year as he comes in and leads the team in scoring his freshman year, sophomore year, and keeps scoring junior year, and then takes the Mormon mission, 2-year mission, then comes back and has a medical injury after four games, and so definitely, when you say experienced, he has been here a while, and he is climbing that board. One guy probably not in doubt of getting past, Ryan Poor, the second all-time leading scorer at Tulsa, and the assistant coach. He's got 51 goals. I think he's breathing okay on the sideline.
It's safe, but I tell you what, if Neil was to catch him this year in his final year, that means they're having quite a year, and I think Ryan Poor would be okay with that.
And then the leading scorer all-time for Tulsa, Frank Velez, with 60 goals.
It is quite a crisp night out here, and it rained all night last night. The field is very soft, but it is, as you can see, it's playing quite well and drains, but it is very slick, and this ball is going to move very fast, already, and certainly as the night goes on.
Check Stefan Cooley, nice possession there, winning the ball, getting forward. Colley has been playing well in that defensive role. Another hard challenge from him. Just over 18 minutes to play here in the first half. Big American Conference matchup. And if UConn wants to keep pace with Tulsa, this is a big win that they need here at home. Rocha brings it down nicely. Connects with D. To Sari. Doubt. Duncan inside, trying to find Austin Neal.
All the UConn players back behind the ball except for Lairn, who's hanging up top and chasing right now. And they forced Tulsa to go all the way back around, but Tulsa with good patience, though.
Good patience. They're possession with a purpose. They're looking around. They're spreading UConn out. Good movement off the ball, finding the opening there. Probably had time to turn. But another big win there in that center defensive position from Colley. Marco wins possession, finds Nerwinski with some room to move. Nerwinski can go 2-on-1 here if he wants it. Speeds inside the 18. Defended now by 4. Still Nerwinski. Does he win the corner? He does. Well, 1-on-4. He liked his odds and did well there to win the corner.
Yeah, he did, and the diving stop for Tulsa, that ball going off his back for number 22, Bradley Bourgeau, the junior from Texas, center back there. I tell you, Nowinski, when he goes forward, it's with a purpose, and it does well. Look at him get in here, and Bourgeau slips there. And
two different styles, right? Yeah. You got Tulsa with 15 passes to go forward, or you get it to Nowinski to go the other way, and he's just going to do it. As Tulsa looks for the counter. Broken up nicely by Kwame Awua.
Well, you love it when you have a really good attacking outside back. You don't love it when he's the best attacker on the team, though, right now. And, you want the other people to get involved with that. And definitely they need Besso and they need Vanacore Decker, to get really involved for UConn. Those are good players, and they need to have more touches on the ball.
Deep in the corner, looking to perhaps win the corner. And Ua does not. Defended nicely. So Keith now with a little over 15 and a half minutes to go. Obviously no subs from either side yet. Is that more, as a guess, lack of depth, or do they like the 11 that are out there? They like what they're seeing, just looking for maybe a little bit more?
Yeah, well, UConn traditionally, Ray Reed does not sub a lot. Well, hold on and see this attack. Rocha goes down.
3-on-3 here for Tulsa if he hurries, and did not have any help. Pleading for the corner, it's out for the goal kick.
Yeah, but you're right if he hurries, and he really didn't there. He had a little bit of a head start and, slowed down, and the UConn defenders came back quickly. But to get back to it, I think UConn normally doesn't sub a lot, but I also don't think they're that deep, to be quite honest. And if you look at players that have come off their bench, there's not a lot of goals in there. The guys on the bench, I think there's one goal, Nicholas Zuninga, with 1 goal and 2 assists, and Ayando Matheson, who might be injured. I'm not sure that I saw him in uniform today. Last year, he had a ton of goals, 7 goals last year, 1 assist only this year, and he was off the bench last year with that super sub for them. Tulsa, on the other hand, I think that they go 4 or 5 deep, and like I said, they're starting 3 different players tonight who coach considers their starters just like the others, and being able to rest the legs a little bit. An important thing in college soccer. Both teams playing tough games Wednesday night and now here Saturday night, so not a lot of recovery time, not a lot of prep time as well.
Yeah, and to be fair, it's not been a extremely fast pace in the first half either, where you got tired legs on either side. Good turn from Tulsa. And a foul right outside the 18 on a nice piece of dribbling. It looked like it was Cameron Drackett.
Yeah, and that's what he does well. He's very quick off the mark, and both feet are good, and he can go either way. And certainly turned the left back, Dylan Greenberg for UConn. Turned him one way, turned him the other, and got the foul out of it.
A couple great turns from Drackett. He's got 3 goals and 3 assists.
Have a look at him there. Yeah, turning him one way, coming back, and again, a little slick there, so Greenberg slid a little bit too, and I don't know how he can feel like, that wasn't, it might not have been on purpose, but it was a foul.
Well, that's one way to do it. You do the step over, the defender falls, then you run into him for the trip. I like it.
Yeah.
This one driven high into the air. Let's see if it's one. Bounces right in front, and again, the goalie will win that every time. Anytime there's a little contact, Scott Levine does draw the foul. It's Lou Labadia.
No doubt in Lou's mind there. He likes the elbow show, Lou does.
Well, anytime there's a big skirmish in front and they go up, I think all sometimes the goalie needs to do is go down and at least be suspicion of a.
But it was a good call.
It was.
I'm joking about Lou. I think Lou's an outstanding referee, and he's been around the block and he's had big games, and I never had a problem having Lou on the field.
Speaking of big games, there was a big game in town last night that you had a chance to go see.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was the U.S. playing Ecuador, and Landon Donovan's farewell game, and we have to say it too. I mean, what a fantastic career! One of the greatest players the U.S. has ever seen, and just see that cleared out, and to be able to be there was kind of cool. Fantastic crowd there, and honored him really well, and. We will miss him, but I'll tell you what, also at the game, I was just so happy. I sat next to J.J. Jennison, who's one of the assistant coaches with the Berkshire Prep soccer team, and the head coach there, John Moody, and what a fantastic group of kids they had there that came down to watch the game and honor Landon and got to know J.J. a little bit, but congratulations to them, too. They're the #1 prep soccer team ranked in the country since 2012, so congratulations to them, and tell you the result in 1 second today after this. Now we get a chance, but congratulations today. They beat Suffield Academy just down the road here in Connecticut, 5-0. So
big
congratulations to those guys. And, again, it was good to meet them, and they represented their school well.
Well, that's what you need as well. The game of soccer has come so far. You look at the national team, the exposure on TV. You got the youth that can come out and watch the NSCAA game of the week, MLS games, English Premier, and then go emulate that on the field, the youth games or high school. And
well, you do, and to have heroes, like Landon Donovan and the like, and the success that we had, in the World Cup, and I feel just a tremendous amount of excitement, in this Jurgen Klinsmann era as well. Last night, a night of a lot of young players in there, the future of the team. But the future here, for one player, is going to be done for this half. We have a sub coming in for UConn. That is number 20. Number 20. That's Nicholas Zuninga. He's the one off the bench that has a goal and 2 assists.
Looks like he's coming in for Decker.
Vanacore Decker looks
a little shaken up.
Yeah, shaken up and tired. And let's remember that UConn had a overtime game, Wednesday night on the road at Cincinnati. So, their legs obviously, not at 100% either.
Yeah, this is the portion of the season when you start games are coming a little quicker, the legs are getting tired more, and you talk about that depth where maybe you need it.
You definitely do, and that's definitely going to be a challenge, for UConn for sure, to try to, get back into where they normally are with a winning record, and kind of having dominating games quite a bit. I mean, the normal UConn teams are teams that will have 65, 70% possession in a game. It's not always possession in the final third, mind you, but they force you to chase them a lot, and as the half wears down or the game wears down, they get you. But this has not been really that case right now. They've been getting into the front part a lot quicker and trying to rely on, if you look at it, Nerwinski getting forward, Laren up top, and Besso.
Rocha now with Tulsa, another cut back. Looking inside. Sorry is there, gets around his man. Back to Rocha. Good possession now from Tulsa if they can keep it going. Sorry has dropped back even further, looking for Drackett. Miscleared in front. This one is shot. Big save by Levine as the misclearance went right back out top on a nice give and go for Tulsa breaking into the area. And Levine with a big save.
Save off Tony Rocha's shot on his favorite left foot as well. And I'm not sure he got a hold of it as much as he wanted to, but certainly got into a good spot. Let's have another look at this. It did come right out to him. And, yeah, he had a little trouble on that touch setting it up. And, may have gone wide anyways, but Levine not taking a chance.
Elliot Ackroyd won the possession, but his clearance on the head went straight up the middle to the foot of Rocha.
Tulsa also going to the bench. Steve Aymar Sige coming in, the freshman from Canada. And I would guess that, he came in for Austin Neal because he is a target player as well. 6'3", and kind of runs the channels well. He holds up the ball, a good work rate as well. And see another sub coming in. 21, Byron Knowles Ramirez, a senior from Costa Rica. A little time with their under-17 national team as well.
He comes in for Drackett.
Drackett, who did well. I enjoyed watching Drackett play, and a little bit of creativity in him.
Sige with a goal and 2 assists on the season, and Ramirez with 1 apiece. Good burst of speed this time by Laren. Get around 3, and there'll be a delayed call right here. We'll see if it's a yellow or just a foul, but you saw really the strength and power there from Kyle Laren to turn almost at midfield, then break away.
Well, it's one of the things with him is, at any time, no matter how the game is going, he is a danger. He's a danger by himself, and we've had a long line of UConn strikers that are like that. But right now, I think this year going into it, probably felt just a ton of pressure, for him to be the guy.
Quick restart. This one not dangerous at all as Sige has it with the fresh legs. And he collides right into his teammate. A little bit of a run out of control there by Sige as they both bumped heads. UConn is going to play on as D looks like he is down. Hard shot, and this is a great goal! Well, he couldn't make the easy one. He did it the hard way.
Boy, he did.
Denied 20 minutes ago, but the left-footed line drive far post gives UConn the 1-0 lead.
Yeah, it does give the lead. It is the lead while the Tulsa play is still down and play went on. But have a look at this shot. He goes in there. Defenders closed down, not enough. And, this time on the inside of that post, that's where he should have gone before. He got it inside. But what a shot from second range from his first goal of the year. Kwame Aruha, the sophomore from Canada, certainly makes up for him. How can you have missed that open one and hit that one, Steve? What a great goal for him. And, really unlucky for Tulsa as they were down a man, for that bit of time there. And whether it could have made a difference or not, you have to say maybe it would have. And, should the ball have been knocked out of bounds at some point, the question's going to be asked as well. But
yeah, very interesting because the 2 players from Tulsa collided, went down, and I actually thought the ball was going to be played out, burst of speed the other way.
Yeah.
And then the long-range shot.
I'm going to say I do too. I thought the ball was going to be played out, and I also thought, because it was the head that was clearly hit, there, that it probably should have stopped quickly.
To be fair, I don't see head coach Tom McIntosh yelling or screaming or asking for that, at least from what we can tell on the bench, and really an unwritten rule right when the injury is down. And also, to be fair to Connecticut, I don't know if they saw the player down.
Right.
as this one goes out of play.
So we'll see how Tulsa can react to this with under 6 minutes left in the half, and like you said, just like that, blaze of speed and getting down there. And of course, when this ball goes and it hits the ground, it's picking up speed off that shot as well, and it's going to make it really tough for the goalkeepers and Brandon Hannon, who's made some good saves.
Looks like there's going to be a forced substitution. This might be blood. Again, you go back to that collision with Sige running into his player, and he is going to be subbed out of the game.
And we'll see what the advantage of, like you said, in fairness to them, not sure if they knew the guy was down. They won the ball and went right away. Take nothing away from an outstanding shot for the first goal of the year for Kwame Oahu.
Lots of room for Ackroyd going forward. Turned by Laren. And that had too much on that through ball. Good challenge and win by Zuniga. Zuniga stepped up one possession, played off Tulsa out for the throw-in.
And certainly UConn taking their time right now as well. With 3 minutes to go, they have the 1-goal lead, and see a long throw coming in here.
Zuniga with the flip throw-in to get a little bit more distance on it.
I must say, I haven't seen that one for a while, the flip throw, and there's not a lot of space there on that sideline either to do that.
You mean you didn't teach that at Georgetown? That wasn't...
Ooh, no, I did not teach that.
Campbell with some room.
Certainly not something I would have demonstrated, Steve.
Back to Laren with a nice touch to beat his man. Almost a through ball and well played by Bourgeois. What can Tulsa do here in the last moments?
Well, right there, if they could have connected on that one, they would have been ahead of quite a number of the UConn players. That ball had got into Rocha. He turned. It would have been about a 2-on-3, which isn't a bad situation. As that UConn back line was stretched with Nowinski getting forward so much.
Crowd is a little bit more into it after the Kwame Oahu goal. Always a fantastic crowd here at Joe Moroni Stadium. Last year, they averaged about 3,600 fans for home games, as this one is shot behind the goal, which ranked 3rd in the country, and right now they're actually ranked 2nd in the country, averaging about 4,500.
I tell you, you're going to have to do a lot more than that if you're going to catch the #1 Santa Barbara. I mean, I don't even have to look at the stats to know that UC Santa Barbara, #1, and another look at the display as Laren hits that shot into the side. And again, it looked a little casual because you pull that ball to the far post, you don't have to hit it that hard. Just have to have it hit the ground on here because it's going to take that skip. Give a rebound as well, if nothing else.
Andrew Garris is going to check into the game as he comes in for Tyler Lehman. A lot of work on that left-hand side as you look at the cut there from Arcege.
So again, I think Tulsa's been quite patient in trying to move the ball around, but they have had a tough time penetrating, though, and getting any clear looks.
Here's an opportunity. Sige looked to be almost behind the last defender and broken up nicely. That back four of UConn, Nowinski, Campbell, Greenberg, and Ackroyd have been solid.
I'm sorry, Steve. Yeah, they have, and that was the left back Greenberg coming across, to cover for those others in the middle. And the thing that will stop him from being able to do that, of course, is if the wide guys are more dangerous for Tulsa.
Looks like they're trying to get Adir DeGrassa in, and they do. He'll play the last 40 seconds as he checks in.
That's interesting for Zaninga coming right back out, and maybe Ray wasn't happy with the flip throw. I don't know, but he must be hurt to come out with just a minute, a couple minutes of playing time.
That could be your question for halftime. Good move there again by Laren. 9 seconds to go as Tulsa's going to try to just hit this one out of play. And UConn content to take their 1-goal lead into halftime. Probably could have been more as Kwame Awuha had the layup. He misses the layup, but he hits the half-court far post shot.
Yeah, exactly. Go figure.
He'll take it. He will definitely take it. And you look at the injury right there as Siege comes off. That was probably the biggest play of the first half. The collision, 2 Tulsa players go down. UConn breaks the other way, and Kwame Awuha does the rest with the long-range shot to give UConn a much-needed 1-goal lead at half.
So I see Tulsa going out, and it looks like we were expecting Ray Reed to come in, but right now he's having a short discussion with the referee, and he's gone into the locker room.
Well, they are heading in the locker room. He might not be happy, but he's got to be happy with the results so far. 45 minutes, and UConn is on top in this American Conference clash. They go to the locker room up 1. Stay with us. Plenty more to come.
You watch the match live. You road trip to the away games. You rise and fall with every run. Above all, you live your love of the game. Whatever you do, get there with Continental Tires and improve your grip with extreme contact traction.
Continental Tire, for what you do.
Each year, the NSCAA puts over 7,000 coaches through our coaching education program. Youth, high school, and college coaches at all levels participate in the diploma courses. No matter where you are in your coaching path, we have something for you. Join your peers and get educated. Better coaching, better players, better game. NSCAA Coaching Academy. Improving soccer, one coach at a time. Register today at nscaa.com/education.
Connecticut, where the UConn Huskies are in the lead 1-0 over the Tulsa Golden Hurricane for the NSCAA Men's Game of the Week. Before the game, my partner Keith Tabatsik had an opportunity to catch up with Coach Ray Reed and get his thoughts on this UConn program, where it came from and where it's going.
Hello, I'm Keith Tabatsik. I'm here with the head coach of University of Connecticut men's soccer, Ray Reed. Ray is in his 18th year now, 4-time National Coach of the Year, 5-time national champions, including at Southern Connecticut. Ray, 3 away from 400 as well. Welcome.
Good evening, Keith. Great to be here.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's also great to be here many times as a coach, now here at Joseph Joe Maroney Jr. Stadium. By the way, let's look back to that time, not look ahead to the 3 wins that you know you're going to get sometime soon here, but you took over for a legend, Joe Maroney. Talk about when you first came in, taking over for a legend, and also trying to put in your program that eventually led to a national title.
Yeah, when we took over, we knew we were very fortunate to follow a guy like Coach Maroney, who built this place with his bare hands. So what we tried to do is keep all the good things he had and then build and add a little of our own, create our own culture, our own environment. And it took a lot of time, but fortunately, with the likes of Max Zeke and Chris Bondi and Monster Jai and Brahim Hancock, we were able to put together a good product.
Well, you put together more than a good product. In 2000, the national championship there, and of course, I knew you guys very well at Georgetown. You just said a bunch of great names. What separated that team from the other great teams you had?
I think those guys, more than any group we've had, were willing to sacrifice everything. A lot of teams we've had will make a lot of sacrifices, but that group came in together for 3-4 years and were completely focused on the task at hand.
Well, that was an amazing team. Clearly the best team I ever played against at Georgetown, without any question. Now, you not only developed a lot of players, Ray, but a ton of coaches. We talk about George Kiefer at South Florida. You got Bobby Muse at Denver, Mike Petke at Red Bull. But you know, talk about the one coach that hasn't left you, arguably the best right-hand man in college soccer, John Dealey, your associate head coach.
Yeah, I'm very fortunate. John Deals and I have been together since '89 at Southern. Deals, you know, one of the best tacticians in the country. The players love him. He's had an easygoing way about him. He's able to look at things, analyze things very quickly. You know, a large part of the success the last 20-something years rests on John Dealey's shoulders. We're very lucky to have him here.
Absolutely lucky to have him. We respect him in the soccer community big time. Now, the NCAA is talking about a split season. Does it have a chance to happen? What do you think about it?
Yeah, I think it does. You know, Sasho, Marlon LeBlanc, Oliver Luck, and Ken Cavanaugh have done a great job getting this front and center. I think it's great for the players. I hope our colleagues, all the Division I head coaches, stick together and really want this thing, because that's the only thing I think can trip us up. I think if we stay unified, we got a really good chance of getting this, because I think administrators are seeing the value of it. Less missed class time, less time on the road. You know, taking a break for final exams at Christmas. You know, there's a lot of pluses for the student athlete.
Well, I tell you, we've been talking about that for a long time. Let's hope it goes through. Now, you've been a member of the NSCAA since 1983. Talk about what it does for college soccer and soccer in general.
Yeah, it's just a great vehicle to get the message out of soccer at all levels in the U.S. High school, youth, the national team programs, the college programs. You know, Joe Cummings has done a fantastic job of pushing the NSCAA brand in his last few years as executive director, and really to give us a platform for college soccer.
Well, I'm Keith Tabatsky. I'm here with Ray Reed, the legendary head coach at University of Connecticut. Ray, thank you very much.
Keith, thank you.
The broadcast of this match is authorized by the National Soccer Coaches Association of America. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or other use of any image, sound, account, or description without the express written permission of the NSCAA is strictly prohibited.
We have Tulsa coach Tom McIntosh heading back across the field, and hope to catch up with him, Steve. But you know, it'd be interesting, you know, what he had said to his team at the halftime. Had been a little frustrated, you know, for them to, you know, had played fairly well and then give up a goal just like that all of a sudden. And you know, you go into the thing and you got to remind the guys that they've actually played well. You know, but of course now they have to chase the game.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a momentum thing, right? You battle, you play. You and I talked maybe with 6 minutes to go in that half about how no one's using subs. You bring some subs in, and there's a huge impact. You have a sub from Tulsa that collides with another player, another sub for UConn, Zuniga.
Huge impact, yeah.
Zuniga, who picks the ball up, plays it forward, gets it to Arua, who takes a long-range shot that finds the back of the net. It's just fantastic counterattack. But you look at the impact those subs have, and that's the difference, and that's where we are here at the break.
Yeah, we are. And you know, if you look at stats for the first half as well, you had 8 shots for UConn, 2 for Tulsa. You know, saves, 3 for the Tulsa goalkeeper. You know, we talked about quite a bit. Did very well. Had that Brandon Hannett had that bad mistake where you know, Awuha missed the open net, you know, before he came back a number of minutes later to make up for that. And, you know, Tulsa right now, chasing the game. It's always a difficult position to be in, especially against a team like UConn playing here at Joseph J. Maroney Jr. Stadium.
So we are underway in the second half. Kyle Laren with the quick speed getting forward again. Now into the corner is Beso. Marco with a nutmeg. Boy, this would be highlight stuff right here. Can they finish it off for him? They do not. They don't even get a shot off, but beautiful patience, one-on-one dribbling. And then the nutmeg on his man, as that was a good way to start for UConn.
It was, and Vanacore Decker for UConn was not able to get a good layoff there. And I'll tell you, he came off the field, you know, looking tired. He looks a little sluggish out there right now as well, and you just wonder how many minutes he's logged now in the last couple of weeks. You know, one of the issues with you know, with the college soccer season, and if you heard you know, Coach Ray Reed talking at halftime a little bit about the split season proposal. as well, hoping to take it into a fall and spring season where the finals would be, in the end of the spring in May. If it goes through, it'd be great. And something we've talked about as college coaches for years and years, and finally at a point that they're willing to look at it, and with a bit of luck, it'll go.
And what is the proponents against it? What's the biggest issues that you tend to run into?
I'll tell you in 1 sec before we see what happens here with Tulsa.
As they're breaking inside the 18 as well. Good start for them. Another quick cutback right in front, and this one is cleared from 6 yards out.
Yes, yeah, I do. I'll get to that as soon as we get a little bit of a break here, because they've been the same type of issues the whole time. Number one, it's facilities for a lot of places, because you basically end up in general sharing facilities with lacrosse. So many of the soccer facilities in the fall, lacrosse facilities in the spring, and so teams will have to deal with that. And there could be a downside with that. The teams playing, we have a field here. Obviously, there's no markings but soccer markings on that, and you're going to have more facilities that will have more lines on them. Which one of the things you'll have to deal with. If you're going to have it done. So it's that. I'm not sure anyone's 100% sure truly what it does financially. Argue that it's cheaper. You don't have to come in preseason, so much and pay for all that. And others will say, well, you're going longer. I think it could have an effect on assistant coaches who make a lot of their income on coaching club teams and their availability for club teams. And I think that could be a challenge where actually programs will end up, probably it's a good thing in one way. If those that step up to the plate, we'll pay those assistant coaches in a way that they don't need to do that.
Like anything else, it's got a lot of sides to it, and it's you want to look at what's best for the student athlete as well, and the game of soccer as they're trying to get to the next level.
It's always that, isn't it? Is it good for soccer? There's no question it's good for soccer.
The through ball here, it's 1-on-3, trying to get it to the backside, but again, UConn gets back so quickly behind the ball. They're back 4 as Campbell sends it forward.
It's always the first thing. It's definitely good for soccer. Then the second part is, can it be done? And that's some of those issues they got to talk about. And the third thing is always political. Is there a political side to it? And I don't know if there is one. Could that be that, or other sports, they want to open the door and then other sports want to do that as well, et cetera. I don't know enough about that part, but no question for the soccer part of it. They play 1 game a week instead of 2 and sometimes 3 games in, 7 or 8 days. It's obviously not conducive.
Tyler Lehman with a cutback. There's your goal scorer, Awua, on the ball. Nice 3-man combination here. As Lehman loses it to Rocha. And Rocha is fouled 30 yards from goal.
Yeah, and he certainly dribbled into Besso to get that. Plays it quickly. Again, Tulsa with good composure, but trouble getting right there and on a good chance, and that's just laying that ball up in the air. And got to get something. You got to do something more. I think you said it earlier before with some of the players, maybe go at players and take some chances there, be a little more selfish, and I think they got to draw some of those UConn players out of that middle, to get the ball in.
Yeah, nothing wrong with the long possession and knocking it around, but ultimately who's going to be the difference maker? Puts his head down and makes something happen, and looking for a couple of those players on both sides. As this one goes forward to Laren. Back to Awua. So strong on the ball. Forward, and here's UConn looking to double their lead on the left, and this one is shot right at Hannett. Good build-up through the midfield, and the shot was not there.
Yeah, it was a good build-up. Vanacore Decker not being able to get on that ball with a solid shot right at the goalkeeper. And, his touch took him out wide, and still okay to shoot that, but you're going to have to really knock it well. And, maybe at that time it is time again to play it across, take another touch, and see what happens. But, his better foot on the right side. We have another look at that. And he is going away. I mean, it just... everything was off, and again, I'm saying he's looking a little sluggish. Maybe that has something to do with that too.
Lehman with a long touch.
Yeah, Lehman's interesting too. He played only 14 minutes in all of 2013, and as of late, all of a sudden, winning a starting spot. Local boy out of Oakwood Soccer Club, a 2-time high school All-American. But he's a redshirt junior. It's taking him a while, and they talking to the coaches, they thought that he would develop into a player for them, and hoping that what they're seeing now is what they had projected for him.
Back to Brandon Hannett. Again, only making his 4th start of the season. Rocha. Matamoros gets it wide to the far side, and then a lot of 50-50 balls up in the air as both sides are trying to gain possession, keep it a little bit. Tulsa. Rocha with, again, a nice move to free up some space. Get it out to Starker, who's got some room in front. Starker on the left. Into the area, can't find anyone in blue. But the loose change is picked up by the Golden Hurricane.
The thing is, Steve, there were a lot of blue players in there, but they couldn't find them, and they were just hanging again. It was the same thing we're talking about UConn in the first half. Well, they had a couple players there. They're hanging there. I thought Tulsa had 3 or 4 guys in the box, but not the movement you need to be able to get away from a good defense.
Well controlled and good build-up from Tulsa. It looked like it could have been dangerous, but give Hannett credit. Good with the feet, and now Tulsa goes the other way, over midfield. The long switch. Good one touch to keep it down by Duncan. Still Tulsa, and again, that last pass is lacking right now, but an opportunity, and this one is shot very slowly, almost just wanted to get it on frame there, and easily controlled by Scott Levine.
Yeah, and Austin Neal, I don't know what if he felt he was trying to chip him or something, what he was trying to do, but that was a time to really unleash a shot there. And just as you're saying there, their final passes are good. It wasn't good. It got to him somehow. There was a chance, they call it a half chance or something to put it in. But you're right. I think most of those balls that they're putting in there are just kind of putting in and hoping as opposed to with a real purpose.
4-on-4 here for UConn in the 18. A quick hard shot, and that is wide of the net. The fans celebrate, but that hit the outside on a good look from Laren.
Yeah, and again, Laren, playing that, trying to hit it at the near post to score. And have a look at this, because it's just like we said in the first half. Here, he puts it on his foot. It's a decent touch there. He's got to pull that to the far post. Look at Vanacore Decker just waiting there.
Absolutely.
That's just, it's two poor decisions on a guy that, is a good goal scorer. And, last year, 14 goals, he probably puts that away. And that's, again, that good feel, that confidence when you have as a goal scorer, and it goes well.
You can see the breath of the players now. A little steam coming up as the temperatures continue to drop here. Ball is skipping. Maybe another reason to shoot that far post, right? Again.
Absolutely, yeah. It'd be hard for the keeper to have a clean hold on it as well. You're likely to get a rebound.
Vanacore Decker draws the foul.
And Tony Rocha, number 10 for Tulsa, is not happy about that, and he feels he's been fouled a number of times. Didn't think that he deserved to get that called on him.
Tyler Lehman finds a way to get it to Aua. Good touches on the ball as UConn will back up and then go direct, and that one will just give possession right back to Tulsa, who are really looking to get something going here to keep their winning streak alive. 3 big wins on the road, but this is a big test for them.
Yeah, it is. In a lot of ways, and even though UConn is not, having the record that they normally do, to have a win at UConn, on the road here is always difficult to do. And again, I said if Tulsa was to pull this out and get a result or a win, I wouldn't be surprised if they broke into the top 25. And something that keeps changing at the top there as well, by the way, the NSCAA top 10 with University of Washington at the top now. We'll see what UConn does here.
Yeah, it's the curse of being the number one ranked team. This one is lobbed back and a little dangerous. Made it very casual, and well, that's all Awuo would need is a 45-yard goal to go with his
45-yard goal that's a cross.
That's right.
That just keeps going. But yeah, University of Washington is number 1, and they knock off out of the number 1 spot was Notre Dame. Jamie Clark at Washington knocking off his dad. That's not very nice. Bobby Clark's team, who had been number 1 and then lost, and that seems to be the deal. Everyone who becomes number 1 ends up getting a loss and jumping out of that. We'll see if Washington can buck that tide.
Neal Odarocha wants it on the left and can't get it there, as that's broken up nicely by Kwame Awua. The sophomore from Ontario with direct play, but again, Hannett is not hesitating. He continues to come off the line, even with the one mistake that he made in the first half where he misplayed it and had the open net for Kwame Awua, who couldn't convert. He continues to come out of the net. He's aggressive and made the play there.
Well, it's also the fact that ball is straight down the middle, the keeper has to be aggressive here where this ball's going to hit and go fast. But again, if that ball's all, I call it off post. As you look at the goal, if it's to the right of the goal or the left, we have to look at this again. This is that cross shot. Maybe I got something right, and he handles that very well.
You see all the fans there.
The
they don't
patrol.
quite understand the rules there, where it doesn't matter where his feet are.
Yeah,
his feet could be all the way in there. It's the whole ball. The whole ball has to cross the line, and
that's the UConn goal patrol. Trying to patrol that ball right into it, actually.
Perfect. He made it look easy, though, didn't he? He just grabbed it, and again,
no
only
problem.
5'9", that's the one that gives you some concerns and issues going the other way. So Tulsa with it now. Looking to tie things up. Tulsa with a through ball, and this one again is too direct as well, as it goes right to keeper Scott Levine. Levine, only 2 games on the season, as Jacob Wagmeister had played the first 8 games of the season. As we are now joined in the booth by a special guest from UConn, Mansour Jai, former player here at UConn and key member of the 2000 UConn National Championship team. As you look back to that time, winning it all, what are some of the biggest memories you've got?
I think anytime you come and watch the team play, I think you always get nostalgic. I think you miss every single part of the game. And these are the nights that you reminisce about, and that's what all UConn soccer is about.
Now you're still on campus here, so how special is it for you to be on campus to be able to catch a lot of these games? And what are you doing now?
Yeah, very special, very special. UConn is very dear to my heart. I spent my entire adult life at UConn. Now I'm the director of academic services in the biggest college on campus. So that gives me a chance to catch all the games and also be able to have a meaningful impact on the lives of these students on the academic side.
Speaking here with former UConn standout player winning the national championship, Mansour Jai, as this one is right in front as Tulsa looking to tie things up. What are your thoughts on the game so far as you've been watching this one?
So far, I thought the Huskies looked quite good. First half, they looked very sharp. I think they were a little bit flat the beginning of the second half, but they seem to be playing much better now. I think this is one of their better games because I had a chance to see each one of their games here, and you could see that there is a much greater sense of urgency for this game. It's a young team, and I think it's a sign of a young team, the way they have played throughout the season. But tonight, they look pretty good.
And we've talked before a couple times about the crowd here. You've played in front of this group. You've won a national championship here. What makes this home atmosphere so special here at Joe Moroni Stadium, and what keeps the fans keep coming back?
I mean, very special. I think the local community is great. The UConn fans, you will not find any better fans than UConn fans around the country, and I think that's what makes UConn soccer so great. When you travel around the country and you go to soccer games, it is very unusual to find this type of ambience and this type of atmosphere about soccer around the country.
As Tulsa is looking to try to get something going here in the second half, a nice step up by goalkeeper Scott Levine. We talked a little bit and had a nice halftime piece about Coach Reed, who's now just 3 wins away from his 400th career win. As you look at the great crowd here that's watching and hoping to see him get his 400th win maybe here. Talk about the job that he's done and what makes him such a good coach.
Quite amazing, and I think I speak for many when I say that it's not only about being a coach, but I think he's been able to be a father figure for many of us. And I think today many of us have a life that we are very comfortable about because of him, and not only because of what he taught us on the soccer field, but I think in many ways also what he taught us as a father figure and what he wanted us to be and the type of citizen that he wanted us to be. So I think in that sense, the soccer, of course, has been the vehicle, but in many ways, he's been able to touch people's at so many different levels and at a very personal level too.
Let's go back to your playing career. Again, a standout career here at UConn, winning the national championship. Time for the MLS draft. A lot of talk about you thinking maybe going in the draft. Well, you made it clear, I'm not going in the draft. What was it like there, hearing that you were drafted in the first round? What went through your mind and ultimately making the decision?
I think it was quite amazing, and I think I had a sense that I was going to be picked at a decent pick when I went to the combine and play and had a chance to showcase my skills, have a chance to allow other coaches who didn't see me play throughout the year see me play against some of the best players in the country at that time. So it's always nice when you get that honor.
And how about now? Still kicking the ball around at all?
Yes, now I have a little guy who's 5 years old, so sometimes you go out and play a little bit. And when he joins with the other kids in the neighborhood playing, I try to help as much as I can. I think this is a time when you try to pay it forward and try to do everything you could to help out the younger kids who love to play soccer. So whichever way you could contribute, you should. And I think at this point in time, those are the few opportunities that I look forward to and try to do my best to help soccer the best I can, because the game has been very good to me.
Well, that's the biggest part of it. You saw a lot of the younger players out here playing at halftime. You said you've got a 5-year-old. A lot of little kids listening tonight. What's the biggest lesson you teach the kids as you're getting into the coaching now? What's the biggest thing you want them to understand early on?
What I would say is two things, passion and skills. In life, it doesn't matter what you do. You need to have skills for what you want to do, and if you don't have those skills, do everything you could do to get them and have the passion for it, because the reality of it is that if you don't have passion for something, it becomes very difficult to be good at it.
Very good. Thank you so much for your time. As Mansour Jai spending some time with us, won the national championship with UConn. Enjoy the rest of the game.
Well, thank you very much.
UConn, 3-time national champions, and they are one of the premier programs in Division I college soccer. Talking about Ray Reid nearing his 400th win, and what a moment that will be when he gets it. And it's great when you've got former players that come back and talk about that and talk about what a difference the coaches make.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's obviously it's a great thing that the fact. I mean, he spoke so well. He spoke so well of the lessons off the field. And that the field was the place where you teach the lessons and things like that. And that's what you want to hear about any coach at all. But very, very well spoken there. And obviously with pride about being a UConn alumni.
Good for them to come back and watch as well. And you heard him say that this is the best they've played that he's seen here at home. The sense of urgency is there a little bit more, and they needed that. This is the time where you need to start clicking, and a lot to go still in this game, but they could use a home win here for sure.
Yeah, they can. We talked about UConn and how they have been historically in October, and really it's this is the time of year that you want to start gelling and get into your best, and they have been unbeatable here at Joseph J. Maroney Jr. Stadium in October since I think 2011. It's like no losses, I think.
I believe you're correct.
I guess I should know. I'm the announcer, shouldn't I? But
Matamoros checks out for Tulsa. Opportunity now for Tulsa, the in-swinger. Sorry puts it right out in front. Top of the 18, and flag stays down. still Tulsa.
I tell you, that was a good series. It still is, and oh boy, he puts over top. But Steve, I've been wanting to say something in that series the whole time because Tulsa had it. There was a little bit of cleverness there. There were some good balls, and they, but it also, it started with the first part of this was this is the cross at the end. And look at all the white jerseys, though. I mean, that is going to be a tough thing to get through, and it's sealing the ball in 2 times or 3 times that whole series. They kept the ball in, but it started the corner kick. There was no movement in the Tulsa guys. They had a ton of people there. It's put in there. It's easy for the UConn to get it out, but again, UConn has so many players back that Tulsa can definitely seal that in and keep it going.
This one's over the top now. Good looking opportunity for them again. Breaking forward is Siege. Time to turn now. UConn is the game opening up. Ethan Vanacore Decker waits for help. Finds it on the near side to a streaking Greenberg. Dylan Greenberg. Back to Beso. Oua. And a little bit too much on that one.
And exactly. And one of the things, I'm noticing about UConn is that they get the ball in those areas there, and they are playing a little bit more direct into there, and putting balls in the air instead of some of these ones that you could play on the ground to feed and have people join in.
UConn, the only school to advance to 3 straight NCAA quarterfinals the last 3 years. It's also a good looking through ball into the 18, trying to turn, lays it back, no one making the run to the penalty spot.
Tony Rocha putting his hands on his head because he was about 22 yards out, hanging and waiting, and realized he could have been going right in onto that.
That's when you got to make the run forward. A beautiful through ball into the area, the rollback.
One thing right now about Tulsa is that they are getting some looks in that final third and getting some balls in there, and they get a little more creative and determined on the runs in the box. It could pay off for them, but they're certainly getting in that area enough that they can get some shots and get some chances.
UConn will win the corner. Derwinski's played well again. That's enough. He does it again. They don't look like they've got any numbers, any room. Derwinski puts his head down and just goes. Goes and wins corners, which any coach will take that type of player. In swinger from Greenberg, high into the air. UConn wins it right in front. The turnaround, it's blocked. Good piece of defending there by Bourgeois.
It was blocked, and Laren. That was quite a swing at it. I'm not sure he might have even missed the whole thing as the ball was blocked as well.
Another player down, a UConn player down this time. As the ball will be knocked out of play. Let's take a look.
See what happened as Greenberg puts this corner kick in, up in the air. UConn challenging for the ball to keep it in play. It's Sergio Campbell, and
it's actually Siege that got back there to break it up. The forward coming all the way back defensively, and then
well, he is 6'3". That's a good reason for him to get back and try to see who's down on the ground here for UConn, and I haven't been able to have a look on it yet.
UConn coming off that game on Wednesday. Cincinnati, a 0-0 game, a game again that outshot 17-5, and a time now to take a look at our Disney Soccer Player of the Week. And congratulations to Tyler Blackwood, the senior forward from London, England, who plays for South Florida. Had a big week.
He had a really big week. 9 points on the week, including a hat trick in one of their games. They had 2 wins last week, and of course, just Wednesday night, he had another assist. Unfortunately for South Florida, that was in that 4-3 loss here to, a 4-3 loss against Tulsa. But congratulations, Tyler Blackwood, the Disney Soccer Player of the Week.
Number 9 with 9 points on the week, and that is a good time to lead into what you were talking about earlier, Keith. You look at the top 10, the Continental Top Tire 10, and you got the number 1 jinx, and we got a new number 1.
New number 1. We'll see if they can take care of things. Washington there with Jamie Clark. UCLA had another loss though. It was a 3-2 overtime loss last night to Cal, and Penn State tomorrow. They're at Maryland. Okay, at 1 o'clock at Maryland. A big game there. Penn State, the only team in the country now without a loss, and Maryland trying to fight back. From also a difficult start. Look at them, similar to Connecticut. Syracuse, Ian McIntyre's getting that done there. Georgetown add another win in that win column to the 6. Today they defeated DePaul, and there's where Notre Dame dropped from the number 1 position to 6. UNC Charlotte doing it. Just quietly getting up there. A couple more Big East teams with Marquette and Creighton, and then Indiana coming in from number 16, rounding out the top 10, and see if Todd Yeagley can keep getting it done. Then we got a couple Big Ten teams there, and Pac-10, Pac-12 at the top.
The big surprise to me is you look at this, you look at the loss column, how many losses in the top 10. I mean, that's the parity in NCAA Division I soccer now. When you have a second-ranked team that has 6 wins, 3 losses, and 2 ties, it shows you that there's a lot of good teams out there.
Yeah, there are, and the quality, they're all playing each other in good teams too. And I was talking with the referee before, Lou Labadia, and he was saying that the time, of college soccer where you could have a midweek game that ends up being, just that kind of, easy game is gone. And the UConn fans here watching and trying to see what's going on the field, and we can get back into play soon. And obviously a UConn player down, hurt quite bad, and a little timeout, I guess you could call it, for Tulsa. They kind of probably don't mind this right now, where they can kind of regroup, and we will see what happens here. And that is Sergio Campbell. And Sergio Campbell was the guy who had the initial header actually to keep that ball in off the corner kick.
Yeah, not a good sign. You look at him, he's obviously in, he looks a little bit out of it, and you got the hard challenge there as a big boy, and he is obviously being helped off.
I'll tell you what I think happened on, when he went up for that header, I think on the corner kick, it must have knocked heads there as well, and then he gets back and goes down, and I'll bet you that's what happened with Campbell.
Sergio Campbell, preseason Defensive Player of the Year in the American Conference, making his 56th start. 6'3", 190 from Jamaica, and you never like to see that.
No, you don't. And actually, he's the spine of that team back there as well. I mean, this is a big loss for UConn, and they've played with that same center back combination the entire year with him and Elliot Ackroyd. Here's another look at this. Let's see if we see it as it comes up, and he's coming out from the middle there, and he goes up for that ball, and he doesn't look like it's there that it happened, but maybe it did. And you're watching him go back, and
it might be
this is it. This could be it here, and it looks like
he's still running.
He's still running, but no, look, he's starting to. I would say he's probably starting to go down. This is where you see him go down. I think that last hit was
the second hit.
Yep.
Because you could even tell, Keith, he was running the wrong way.
Yep.
The second hit there, you're right, it was not off the first corner. It was off the second one where it looked like the back of the head hit him, and you hate to speculate, but you could tell he was running the wrong way a little bit.
Yeah.
So we will not see him, I don't think, for the remainder of the game.
No, I would think not. And
look at this. Tulsa goes the other way. Great opportunity, their best opportunity, and how much does Sergio Campbell mean to him? Well, moments after, they have their best chance of the game, and it's a big save by Scott Levine. Unmarked from 2 yards out. Look at this.
Yeah, look at this come across. Oh, he's right there. I mean, it's in that in-between area. It's very hard to do anything with it, but almost unlucky. It was just a little bit too high to have get your foot on and everything. Might have even caught him by surprise. But great job of the camera work there, the replays. Both on the corner kick before we saw Campbell and with the head knock and on that.
Yeah, Austin Deal again with 36 goals in his career there, and that one could have put him in the top 5 all-time leading scorer, but it was right in that area. Do you go down for the header? Do you go up for the volley?
Yeah.
And he just wasn't sure. He was handcuffed.
Well, I just don't think he also might not have expected to come through cleanly. Of course, it's one of the first rules of being a good forward is always expect the ball's going to come to you.
So UConn will go to the bench. It looks like Andrew Garris is now checking in as he comes in for Ethan Vanacore Decker. And in the back line, still got Elliot Ackroyd. as they're trying to adjust. Greenberg is back there, as is Nerwinski.
And they obviously brought a player in for Campbell. And
more great dribbling, the one-on-one moves from UConn as Laren has got the speed, the size, and we've seen him a couple times with some fantastic creativity to get away from the defenders.
And that's Istvan Canyo right there on the ball, who came in for Campbell. Istvan Canyo, a redshirt junior from New Haven, Connecticut.
Let's see what Tulsa can do to respond here. Right in front. Laren inside, the cutback. He's got it on the right, and it's cleared off the line. A huge save as it was going right in front. And Duncan was there to knock it away.
Yeah, I mean, big save by Duncan, actually, because that would have been an open net there, and Laren did a good job. They're very calm and composed. And watch this again as Laren turns. So hard to stay with, and cuts back, puts it across there, beats the keeper, and again, Duncan getting that ball out of play. Open net there. That would have been 2-0 easily.
Well, not only being in that position, but not the own goal, too. I mean, he hits that up in the air. He's facing his own goal. Tremendous skill from the defender there to hit it out for the corner. As UConn
didn't take it long. That was Istvan Canyo right in there, getting right on top of that corner kick. And Istvan Canyo, this is only the third game that he's played in. And almost gets on the end of that right off the bat.
Well, you don't like to sub the center backs or center defenders at all, but that's a situation where you have to. So Canyo probably not even warmed up, although Campbell was down so long, probably had some opportunity to get up, get stretched, and get in that center back position.
But it's hard to come in at this situation, because no matter how much you're warming up, most of this game you've been sitting, and it's cold outside tonight.
If you're Tulsa, you attack that, right? You look at that, and the heart of the defense is now out. How do you adjust? How do you go forward? What do you do differently?
Well, really, that cross came right into that center part of the defense right before when Austin Neal had that. I'd say he had the chance. I'd say when the ball hit Austin Neal, as opposed to Austin Neal got to the ball.
You look at the game last night, the U.S., when they make all those changes,
right?
Different center backs, the communication that was going on, and the goal they gave up in the second half.
Very true there, actually, but at least that was a friendly. This is not a friendly.
Here is Tulsa behind the defense again. 3 in the area. Oh, looks like it could have been another foul in the area as the entire Tulsa bench is up.
And a good attack by Tulsa. An excellent ball as well that turned the UConn defender facing their own goal line. And Tulsa's been good every now and then getting in behind, and those balls wide. It's just the end result inside of the box. The determination to get to the spots.
Tom McIntosh not happy on the sideline as it looked like 2 fouls for Tulsa. Neither one called. I think the one more important than the other one is the one was in the area. And Lou Labadia was probably about 35, 40 yards from the play as Tom is still screaming from the sideline, wondering why.
And Sergio's coming back in, so
it's surprising.
Yeah, it is. It's interesting, and we are guessing, but I think it's a pretty educated guess that was head on head. That started that problem there. He was down for a long time.
Yeah, I don't like this. I mean, I know we're up here, but again, anytime you walk off that gingerly 10 minutes ago to go back in this game off the head injury, I'm sure they've got some checks and balances they do on the sideline.
No, exactly. I mean, it's obviously one of the headline issues of sports nowadays. With that, no pun intended, headline issue. But we'll see. Well, hopefully he's fine, and hopefully there's no issues with him going back right now. And again, we're sitting up here and don't know for sure from downside.
Tulsa goes the other way. Neal sprays it wide. Continues his run in the area. Seagay unable to get on the end of that one as Levine wins it. Redshirt freshman from Stamford, Connecticut.
And I'll tell you what, he's on his way, 14 minutes away from 3 straight shutouts. I mean, not playing at all and then getting in and helping UConn kind of turn things around. And certainly the big issue with UConn in the first 13 games of the season, they let in all those goals, and 7 games of the season, let in 13 goals, and now kind of figuring that part out. And Doesn't matter if they only win games 1-0. They'll be happy with that. But Tulsa not ready to give up yet for sure. And, boy, a pass like that's not going to do it, though. You got to push that on the ground somehow if it's going to have a chance.
They're just going too direct right now, and the direct pass is not working. Don't forget about the 2015 NSCA Convention, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, January 14th to the 18th. Keith, I know you will be there. It's the place to be. So much going on at the convention. Make sure you register. More information, nsca.com/convention.
Absolutely, I will be there. Philadelphia again, and great place to go. Aside from the cheesesteaks, it's going to be some pretty good soccer stuff there, too.
Here's some great soccer stuff from UConn. Oh, and he let it go. They had the 2-on-1, and Laren thought the ball was going to go through. It didn't, but there's still possession. Aua on the left, low, cross in front.
It is slippery in there right now. We said that before, that the field, it's pretty damp to begin with, and now this late at night on a cold night, it's getting very greasy.
Good combination right there from UConn. Three-man combination, breaks up the cross in front. No one making the run. So Tulsa running out of time to keep their winning streak alive. 12 minutes to go in this one as they trail 1-0 off the first half goal from Kwame Aua, his first goal of the season. Long range left-footed shot that beat Brandon Hannett. Rocha to Neal. Can't get around the second player.
That's got to do better with that. I mean, on the lead, and he just dribbles right into two players. And need to peel away, but also we talk about him going there is the fact that no UConn players were making themselves available either. And, they don't want to just sit back and and grind this out for 11 minutes. So Tulsa is going to create chances even if they're not sitting back. You got to press a little bit and try to keep the ball. Again, normal UConn team just is so hard to get the ball from. This team, not the possession team, is normal.
Yeah, you're right. They have, I don't want to say packed it in, but they're content to drop back and give possession to Tulsa. And
I mean, it's one thing once Tulsa has the ball, to do that. But when you have the ball, they got to, like right here, they've got to try to keep the ball. And better to play in this part of the field with the lead than the other way.
Tulsa has been a second-half team. They scored 6 goals in the first half of play this season so far, and 12 in the second half as McIntosh goes to the bench. Bobby Matamoros back into the play.
He's come in that, as they call it, the right center back, but obviously this was a clear just 3 backs right now as they're trying to push forward. And he's more of an attacking player than Quentin Duncan, who came out of the game, and I'm sure this is for Matamoros to get forward and link up, and here we go right now with him.
He's got some room to take right now. He's got 2 defenders approaching with Matamoros with not much of a cross there, but the second ball is controlled by Tulsa. Really just hitting and hoping right now.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no clear passes.
No, exactly. And the thing is, when they have been trying to move the ball around and playing to feed and good movement off the ball, it's been pretty sharp. It's really been the trouble with a million teams in the world, that final pass.
Jeffrey D. back to Matamoros. Good challenge. Possession won back by UConn. Kwame Aua to give and go with some room. Gets it why the flag was up, and we had a great look at it right here. Just a little bit too quick.
Just barely. Greenberg just barely getting offsides.
He didn't need to either. I mean, he had
no.
plenty of room and was waiting, and we could see it clearly right here that he just started his run too quickly and had some room behind.
Well, that's that left back sniffing that he could get into the goal there, and needed a little more patience.
Rocha splits 2 defenders, has it on the left.
I'm sure what Rocha was doing there, because he had two guys on him defending him, and he really can't get a quality shot off, as you saw there. He's a good player, you know, and he does have a very strong second-range shot, so he's thinking that the whole time. And we'll see if Nicholas Oninga stays in longer now than he did in the first half. He came in for 2 or 3 minutes and and then was out of the game for whatever reason.
Enough to get an assist, though.
Yes, exactly.
UConn looking for their second win, American Conference. Laren on the left, still Laren, waiting, 3 defenders, deflected, behind him, it's gonna roll in!
Oh, wow, I tell you what, it was unlucky for Tulsa and Brandon Hannon. He almost made the save anyways, but there's Laren, and when he takes the shot, you're thinking, what's he really doing? There's nothing there, and look what happens. Have a look at the replay.
I think he called the bank shot. If you listen, he got 3 defenders on him. Here's the 4th one. Cuts it back, and right here you call bank shot. Actually hit the handball, which is a good advantage.
Yeah.
You almost can't celebrate that when he puts his hands up in the air, but the team that was struggling to find goals is now getting them in that type of way tonight.
Exactly, and you know what? I'm not sure. I do think he was trying to bend that to the far post, but as you saw the replay, that would have missed by probably 10 or 15 yards wide. And sometimes if you get a couple lucky breaks, that can turn your season around a little bit too.
His 5th goal of the season, 19th career goal. Probably won't go down as his prettiest.
No, I don't think so. Let's hope not, anyways.
He's had a great game, though. He's worked hard. Good individual skill.
Well, he has stayed at it. And the one thing is about him is that even if things aren't going well, he is such a handful that the defense has to focus on him so much. It doesn't matter if he's not sharp in a game, and you can't let him go. So he does take a lot of the defending, focus and all. And that does bring some of those other players into play also.
Now Connecticut is defending 11 back behind the ball. Under 7 to go.
Well, you know what? Not only they want to win, they want 3 shutouts in a row after giving up all those goals.
Leaving a message. It's a message game. I think you talked about it. You look at Tulsa and the season they've been putting together, maybe jumping into the rankings and where they'd land, but this was a big test for them.
It was, and you think about the energy and emotion that they had Wednesday night at South Florida. Where they won 4-3, but it was like goal after goal after goal in the final part of that game, and they had 3 goals in about a 4-minute period in that game.
Yeah, they've had some big wins. This looks to be a big loss. Another team that they lost to is the Akron Zips, losing to Akron earlier in the year 3-0 as Tom McIntosh. I think this is more frustration for maybe the calls earlier on. You look at those ones that probably could have gone their way. I don't think it's as much about this one per se as the ones that were missed earlier.
Yeah, but definitely frustrated there. And sometimes you come into places like this, and whether it's happening or not, you're feeling like you're not getting anything. But my guess is he was probably, most of that yelling, there was probably about that play before that he felt could have been a penalty.
I agree. That one out of play. UConn goes to the bench. Tyler Lehman back in. And this is a hard challenge right in front of Tom McIntosh, and that was another really missed call right there.
Well, he's looking for a card on that as well. He wants a card because he's just, Laren is just
grabbed
around
him.
Yeah.
Laren just grabbed him and pulled him down right in front, and not only not a card, but not even a foul. And there wasn't really an advantage on the play. He's got to be careful too. You don't want an injury or something silly here down the stretch, but lost control a little bit of the game has.
We do, but you also don't want to give up. You want your team to keep fighting them. There's 5 minutes left in the game, at the time where that happened. And, you know the game of soccer. Things can happen. They scored against South Florida. They scored at the
Yeah.
80th minute, 82nd minute, 84th minute.
Right.
You know, 3 goals, bang, bang, bang. So they have to feel in them that if they got a goal, they could get another goal right away. You know,
Yeah,
but
that was a 1-goal game, I believe, in the 73rd minute, and
Yep.
ends 4-3.
so obviously Tulsa, you know, they came into this game leading the American Athletic Conference in goals with 16. Obviously a lot of belief in themselves that they can score.
You look at SMU in the lead in the conference, undefeated, 2 wins and a tie.
Still a 7-game season, regular season.
Long
so
way to go. Long way to go. And you talked about everybody making the playoffs. That's, you want to be peaking at the right time.
No, you definitely do. And the other thing, too, is we said that the conference tournament, the Final Four, the semifinals and the finals are being held here at UConn. The quarterfinals will be at whatever the higher home seed, all 8 teams into the American Athletic Conference tournament. And they'll see this corner kick, not quite to Roach at the top, and it was a little bit off that pass, and of course a lot of the sharpness has gone out of some of these passes. UConn getting downfield fast, 3 minutes left.
That is
unnecessary.
Unnecessary, yeah. Take it to the corner flag, right?
Yeah, at least try to do something else, but you're trying to shoot from an angle from, 35, 40 yards out, and, he really, a little better decision on that, and, if he made a better decision, they probably still have the ball at their feet right now, and, again, hopefully they cannot give up a 2-goal lead in 2.5 minutes, but they also want this shutout. Tulsa's not going to give up easy, and still getting, they've had a lot of these balls into that left side.
Seagate into the area again. That's been that kind of defending for UConn. I'll tell you, look at the first couple minutes of this game where Tulsa had some good chances and good opportunities, but Connecticut proving why they're such a strong defensive team.
Yeah, and in fact, that was exactly what Tulsa's plan was. Tom McIntosh said is they want to go out, they want to press right away, and and really try to take an upper hand in the game. Things that a lot of teams don't do when they come into UConn. So a lot of respect for that approach to it, and certainly they got a lot of good players on this team. But that's right there probably highlights what the issue was with Tulsa all night. Is that final thing in there, putting it in there. Nobody really there in the end. Nothing happening in the connections in the final. They kind of run out of ideas in a way when they got there.
Well, that's where a lot of teams break down, though, right? I mean, it's easy to possess the ball in your own third and combine in the middle third of the field. It's what can you do there in the final third of the field when you're outnumbered. And Laren again with some more dribbling. Going to draw a couple defenders there, and looked like it was out of play. It was.
Two balls on the field for a little bit, but
that's maybe what you need when you need 2 goals. It makes it a little easier. Rocha. And again, there it is. I mean, that's the same thing. It's easy from here, but just that's a hit and hope.
Yeah.
Less than a minute to play. This one right in front and get good defending there.
Good defending, a good ball in there as well. That ball coming in from the right side, in behind the defense. And again, the defending was good to be able to clear that ball out. Number 17, Zach Jackson, the freshman from Texas, putting that in.
UConn this time can run it out with about 20 seconds to go in this one. This is exactly what they needed. Coming in with a losing record, 3 wins, 5 losses, and 2 ties. And home, really 1-2-1 at home. So going back to 500 at home is something you don't really hear a lot with UConn, but that is where they are right now with a big American Conference win tonight.
Yeah, it was huge for UConn, and we, both for their confidence and obviously in the conference play. They want to be at the top of the conference table. They want to be able to be here when that tournament is here at the end of the year and get that, no matter how the rest of the season goes, to be able to get that automatic bid into the NCAAs.
With wins over Stony Brook, Seattle, and Memphis, they can add Tulsa to that group now as they go to 2 wins, 1 loss, and 1 tie on the season. in the conference, and Tulsa drops to 2 wins and 2 losses. And we are now joined by head coach Ray Reed, who now picks up his 398th win of his career. Coach, your thoughts on the game tonight?
Yeah, I thought the first half we were really good, dangerous. We played it smart. Second half we got on our heels a little bit, although they didn't really get any good looks. We could have been better on the counter. But you know what? It's 3 straight games of shutout now. We've made improvements for sure.
Well, there's no question the shutout's part of it because you're giving up all those goals early, Ray. Yeah, what about the attack, man? What needs to click there to look more dangerous? You kept the ball well, but what do you think?
Yeah, I think we're making strides. We got a lot of freshmen and sophomores playing. You know what? We're in a much better spot than we were a month ago. We're getting there. We're going to be okay.
Coach, maybe something that looked positive. Sergio Campbell, your senior, went down. It looked a little dangerous. So
yeah, he's fine. He's fine. He's a tough kid.
He's definitely tough coming back in. What does he mean to your back line?
Yeah, he's the heart and soul of our defense. He's done a great job for us.
Thanks, Coach,
Thanks,
for your time.
guys.
Congratulations on the big win.
Keith, thanks, man.
Win number 398 for UConn, and a big win for the Huskies here at home. A reminder, again, the 2015 NSCA Convention in Philadelphia, January 14th through the 18th. Anything you want with soccer, youth coaches, college coaches, professional coaches, it's all there. Any level, it's a great place to be to come and learn more about the game, make connections. Here is your final score. UConn with a goal in each of the halves. They take it tonight. UConn 2, Tulsa 0 in the NSCA game of the week. Final thoughts, Mr. Tabatsik.
Well, I'll tell you what. I think it was a deserved win. I was impressed with Tulsa in many ways. The final third's their challenge, but I think they'll bounce back. Coach Ray Reed, he said it, steps at a time with a young team. There's enough quality out there to do well. The question will be their depth and, as they go against some of the top teams, putting together game after game after game.
And it's a big win for them in the conference. He's got to be pleased. Tulsa moves on. We've got plenty more NSCA games of the week coming up, including a couple more on the schedule. Be sure to tune in and watch those. For Keith Tabatsik, I'm Steve Bell. Good night from Storrs, Connecticut.